Hi everyone, welcome to day 11, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to be online today because at 6 o'clock today morning, I woke up. In fact, I woke up much sooner than that, but I didn't get out of the bed because the internet was not working. And usually I switch on my phone and I check some things, and the Wi Fi was just not working. So I thought, okay, there's a small glitch. It should be back, and then it was 7, and then 7:30, and then it so happened that I thought the class is not going to happen because the internet was just not working. I tried calling the people at the internet, and then finally I recorded a video which I want to share with all of you now to just show you what I had recorded. Hi everyone. Today was our day 11 of endgame training, and I was prepared for it in the morning. I've been preparing very hard for it. However, it seems like my internet is not working. The internet providers are not picking up their phone, and it's just impossible to stream live. So I'm very sorry that today's session will have to be postponed to tomorrow till I fix it. Just to show you guys my workplace here. This is from where I work. So all the books and everything here, and also, this is the thing which is causing the biggest problem for me right now. This is the modem here, and it should be beeping green, but it's orange, and I just don't know what to do about it. So, well, unfortunately, no class today, but we will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bye bye. And so, yeah, so that was what I recorded, and I was going to upload it at 7:40. And just as I was typing the description and the title of the video, the internet came back. And this is why I feel so happy today to be present here and to be interacting with all of you. So thank you all for coming here. Uh, Anu Gupta says, I woke up today early, and if this happens, my whole day would have been sad. Well, great to know that we are here, and there's a lot of things to learn. Uh, Dandapani says, nice to see your office room. Karan Parik, I'm here too. Yesterday I had my tournament, so didn't come live, but saw your video. Your class helped me finish first in yesterday's tournament. Wonderful, Karan. That is great. Mayur Gondalekar says, soup finished, will join in laptop few minutes. Wonderful. Rima, lucky us. Tanisha Bhagchandani, welcome. Anup Datta, Mohammad Mirzan, love from Libya. Wonderful to know. Siddharth Shri Kumar says, lucky students plus Sagar Shah. Okay, so good that we all are here, and I guess it's time to begin with our tactics as we always do. And today we have to be switched on and on top of our game because really I do not wish to go wrong at any point. So let's begin. Let's go to account.chessbase.com, and I hope the internet stays strong today. But if it doesn't, then please excuse me. Okay, so first one, this one is black to move. Black is a, a piece and a rook down. That's huge material. At the same time, there's a mate threatened, so have to be careful. Good morning to Ilam Parthi and also Mini Chess Base India. Tom Lasker says I was about to leave. Well, that was a recorded video. So Rajeshri Raghavesh says background looks attractive with red shirt. Yeah, black with red, always looking good. Indu Manoj says I'm a 13-year-old boy from Germany. Nice. Arun Dikshit, I'm overjoyed that the class didn't get cancelled. One more day of great chess learning and excitement. Great, Arun. Good to have you. Shriyana says b5, king a5, queen a3. Yes, that looks like a mate, but b5, I don't think he would play king a5. He would do something else. All of you say b5. Suryansh Verma, Mini Chess Base India, Bhaku Choku, Neev Patel, Anup Datta, Sujata Shastri, everyone says b5, but you have to see bishop b5 as well because that is a possible move. What about the thumbnail? Says Subhash Goyal. Honi Arora, I'm 2674 in tactics. Mission 2700 is on for me. Good to know. Well, the thumbnail story is something which I will tell you in a few minutes as the class begins. b5, bishop b5, rook b5, then queen e8, king b7, queen c6 is at least a draw. Come on guys, focus. b5, bishop b5. If we take queen b5, then king a3, queen a5, king b2, rook b5, king c2, queen a4 check. Yeah, somehow the king is running away. Yeah, nice. Look at Honi. He's given a very interesting answer. Also, Sani Deshpande has given this answer. Very good. Try to solve. This is a very interesting position, and always you must begin with checks, captures, threats, and look at the undefended pieces. Here the biggest piece which looks like undefended is the king. We have to kill it. So b5, somehow bishop b5, queen b5, king a3 doesn't work because this queen and rook are both in the same file. Like you want to get them into the play like queen a6, king b2, rook b5, king c2, but somehow the king runs away. And so Elam Parthi Keshav, no, not Keshav, you will play b5, but somehow b5 doesn't end in a mate Keshav. There is a stronger line, as Rishila Banerjee says, and also Arun Dikshit is also saying is rook to a5, king a5, queen a3 check, king b5 is the only move. Now if c6, the problem is he can take rook c6, I think. So maybe better to go a6. Now the only square is king c4 because queen controls c5. You play b5 and now only square is d5, and then you go queen d6 and it's a checkmate. Amazing. So it was a forcing line, not so tough, but had to be calculated precisely. Uh, King c4, b5, king d5, queen d6, and it's a very nice checkmate. Okay, good job guys. Let's Nandan says my puzzle rating is 1906. Wow, that's good to know, Nandan. I think you should aim for reaching 2000 today. If you can do that, that would be wonderful. Then you should tell us tomorrow whether you reach 2000 or not. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is white to move. Didn't we solve this? I think we've solved this already. So it has repeated. What was the answer? Yeah, I think bishop c5, if I'm not mistaken, queen f3, rook e1, and that was the end of it. Right? I just want to make sure if all of us are on the same page. Utkarsh Srivastav has a very unique request which says, show us the game in which both opponents are in check. Maybe you can just YouTube Vidit versus Nakamura. That's where both kings check each other. I don't know of any other example where both kings are in check. Anup Datta says my tactics rating is 2123. Very nice. Srishant, my puzzle rating is 2159. I think Anup and Srishant, you should both aim at crossing 2200 at the very least today. That would be nice. Yes, we have solved it, and bishop into c5 is the correct move. Um, so we take, and it's a mate here. Bishop e7, rook e7, uh, king f8, rook d8. Okay, let's go next. This one is white to move. Looks interesting. Look at this knight here. If you're just going to move it away, if you're going to move your queen away, then the knight is hanging. So we have to be careful about it. Shri Kumar, Siddharth says 2443. Nice. Siddharth, 2500 today. Same for you, Shivam. Try to cross 2500. My puzzle rating, Shobit says 2300. I want to improve further. Well, concentrate, Shobit. Try to concentrate, and I think you should be able to. Don't try to rush for your answers. See how we are solving. We solve maybe 5 or 6 positions in half an hour, but we try to get them all right. Yeah, that's important. Ilam Pariti says, I went 2750 and came back. Well, let's see, Ilam Pariti, if you can cross 2800 first, or all of us together can do that. Okay, a lot of people say about their rating. Shubham Soni 2047, 2345 for Sujata, Trupti Gadge 2460, Rishila Banerjee 2716, Shivendra 2170, Sumed 2525, Tripti 2460, Swayam Das is 3111. Wow, Swayam, that's amazing. Dharmaratne 2188. Nice. Okay. The name of this website is account.chessbase.com. Chessbase account. If you Google it, you will get it. Okay, let's try to solve this now. Sairam Sampath was 2738. Wow. So we have a lot of 2700s here. Guys, we need your focus now over here, because we are in trouble. Our knight is hanging, so is our queen attacked. We need to figure out a way to get out of this mess. How should we do it? Come on, let's focus. Queen h4 does look like an interesting option, but then after queen into c7, queen h7, king f8, the king is running away. So we have to check. Okay, Ilam Pariti is the first one who has given the right answer here. Also Rishila Banerjee, Smile Studio. The question is, if you move your queen here, there is no mate. If you move your rook to h8 check, there is no mate. So no checks are not working. Now we need to look at captures. So we look at queen f7 check, queen into e5, bishop into d5, rook into c5. So you look at these captures very quickly. When you see that, you will see, queen f7 makes some sense, because my knight is now defended. He has to take knight f7. I attack his rook. So he plays king into f7. And now I have two moves possible. One is bishop d5 check, rook d5, knight d5. And the other one is knight into a8, rook into a8, bishop d5. And definitely the second option looks much better, because you are gaining material. And I think that should be the right answer. Take on f7, queen f7, knight f7. And yeah, that's done. But I think there's another small point where you must take a8 first, and he must take, otherwise I'll be just coming back out with my knight. So rook a8 and then bishop d5 check, and you win the knight. Exchange up with maybe 3 extra pawns. That's a lot. Okay, next one. Black to move. Black is right now a pawn down only, but his knight is hanging. The king is still in the center. So usually in such positions you can sacrifice material. That seems okay. How do you continue here? Okay, Daksh Goyal says queen d6. Daksh, what's your idea to bishop d2? Do you have something planned? You want to play maybe bishop e3 then? Okay. Well, Ilam Pariti, have you solved this position before? Because you gave an answer very quickly. Srishant as well. Uh, but the point is queen d6 looks really quite interesting, right? Queen d6. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't make the move. Queen d6 with the idea of bishop d2, bishop e3. But I think here the problem could well be with knight b5 attacking our queen. And it seems like the queen can go to many squares, but which one? If queen d7, I think we have knight c7 check, right? Um, if queen into c7, I can go bishop into e3 with a playable position, I guess. Um, if king f8, I was thinking what to do. No, because queen d6, bishop d2, bishop e3. I have knight e4 as well. Yeah, knight e4 looks better instead of knight b5. And then the d2 is guarded at the very least. Yeah, Sumed, you are right, but queen d2, queen d6, bd2, bishop e3. Instead of that, bishop e3, you have to continue the line. I think knight e4 looks like a good move there. Bishop h4 is what a lot of people are saying, to because you vacate the square for the queen, for the knight to come to f2 and also attack, and then after queen h4, knight e3, bishop e3, queen into h4. That's the idea. Yeah, queen d6, queen d5 is also there. Yes, Sumedh, you are right. Queen d5 stops everything. Also Durlo Nanda said that. Queen d. Sorry, very sorry. I think I'm just going a bit wrong. Queen d6, bd2, bishop e3. If I play knight b5, there is already queen d2 mate. So queen d6, bd2, bishop e3, knight e4, or queen d6, queen d5 looks pretty good. So bishop h4, queen h4, knight e3, and that's winning. This was very nice. The main point was vacating the f2 square, and you have to do it with a threat. So if the queen moves somewhere else, then knight f2 is very strong. And if he takes queen h4, now you see there is a discovered. So you go knight e3 check and you win the game. Okay, let's do one more. This time it looks like an easy one, very easy. I could spot it in under 3 seconds. because the first thing that I've trained myself to look in any position are checks, captures. So first thing I look is check, and here the first check that came to my mind was the right move, and I think all of you also would have got it very quickly. Yeah, Anu Gupta, you are right. Durlav Nanda, Anup Datta, Swayam Das, Sairam Sampath, Abdul Kalam, Mini, Aditi, no Aditi, not Queen H1. You need to look at something else. Arjun, Practical Thinking, Pankaj Panchal, Dev Marsha, Shobit Jaiswal, Sani Deshpande, Yash Bharadia, Trupti Gadge, Shriyana Malya, Amay Nirgudkar, Pankaj Panchal, Honi Arora. Everyone's got it right. When an easy one comes, I'm able to see all the people who are there in the class, and that's nice actually. Everyone comments. So good to see. Check and take. Okay, that one was easy. Let's do one more because that was too easy for all of you. Now that all of you have reached 2700 elo, I think the tactics trainer should realize to give you tough positions. Yeah. Okay, this one looks tricky. Your rook is hanging on e2. So you have to figure out what to do because, well, if you play bishop into d5, okay, interesting move, bishop d5. Your queen, your also bishop is hanging here, but this move suggested by Anup Datta is very interesting, bishop d5, because if rook d5 there is rook e1, if knight e2 there is queen g2. So somehow you are saving yourself entirely. Look at some defenses because bishop d5, I was thinking of say something, rook g1 looks too passive. Also bishop g1 is hanging, so that doesn't work. Queen d3 has been suggested by someone, but queen d3, I'm just wondering if just moving the bishop from c1, shouldn't that be enough? Like I play bishop f4 or bishop g5. Yeah, bishop d5 looks right. Pankaj Panchal as well says the same. Yeah, let's go bishop d5. Saves everything. Rook d5. Ah, that's a mate. Okay, nice end. Do we do one more? I always like to ask you uh, if we want to do it one more time. If we want to do one more position, let's go for it, and then we'll begin with our training. Yeah. Okay. Everyone says yes. So let's do it. This one is white to move. Again, looks straightforward, doesn't it? I mean, It's just winning. I'm trying to find the defense. This is very easy. Very easy. Everyone is like, oh my god, we are going to do Rook Bishop versus Rook. Please give us some more tactics. But this one's pretty simple, and I hope that you're able to crack it very quickly. Yes, Sairam Sampath, you are right. Anu Gupta, black to move. Yeah, black to move and win. Neev Patel, you're right. Abdul Kalam, maybe you mean knight d1. Yes, Arun Dikshit, you are right. Shahid Hussain, Ilam Parthi, Tanisha, everyone is right. I don't think we need to look at everyone's answer because that one, oh my god, look at what pawn he's captured at 7. It's like you're going to die, but you are like, okay, let me just kill one thing before I die, and then it's over. Okay, so that was a good day. I think yesterday we made up for yesterday's uh, sort of miss. We gained some 3 elo points, but today we have 24 elo points, which is a steady growth, and no wrong answers. So I'm very happy with our progress today. And let's get to this training. By the way, we have to look at what we learned yesterday because it was very complex, and I always like to remind you, when you remember stuff, you are able to learn it and have it in your mind. It's one of the key elements of mastery. Repetition is important. It might look trivial, but it is not. So the the game which I want to discuss is one that was sent to us by Ilam Parthi, which is very relevant to our subject actually, and that is the reason why I want to pick it up. He sent his game between Rakshita Ravi, who's a very talented youngster of Indian chess, who's a WIM and has a rating close to 2300. And this is the position that they had reached in their game. So this is the one that they had reached, and Ilam Parthi was black. His rating was 1800, 1796, and he's clearly on the back foot because his rook is tied up here, and white is just coming in. So his hope is that these two pawns will help him. If there was no pawn here, that would have been draw, but because there's a pawn, it is no longer clear. So my question to all of you is, what is the assessment of this position? Is white winning or is black better? Mini Chess Base India says Alok Kumar Nandi 1996 at Gmail. Okay, I'll check it out and I'll come back to you. Yes, the notation. Thanks for reminding. I don't know if today our friend Ashwin and his team is here, but if Ashwin is here, please let me know so that I can say the notation. If you aren't there, then I don't think it makes sense for me to call out notation before every position. Arun Dikshit says black can hold a draw here. Abdul Kalam says draw. White winning. Yeah, practical thinking. I think I'll take that up. Bishop and knight versus king. Maybe we can have a look at it today as well, as one of the things. Okay, so after I finish this game, I will go to the thumbnail story. But I don't see, if you guys see Ashwin Makwana here, if he comments, then maybe I would tell the notations, or else I mean the position. Otherwise, I think all of you can see it on the screen. Yes, black to move, sorry. So black to move, in the game he played f5. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. And okay, Rakshita played king c6. Ilam Parithi went king g4. king b7, and now rook f8, queens takes king 8. And actually speaking, this position should be lost. I was also thinking, if by chance what we learned here, king e3, wouldn't it be better, that you are playing for some kind of shouldering concept? Because after, say, king b7, rook goes, say, out here, you make a queen, I take king 8, f4, king b7, f3, king c6, f2, and it seems like black is in time, right, to hold this. Rook a1, king e2, king d5, queen, take h4, king here, and I think it would end in a draw, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I'm not sure. I just downloaded the game before the class began, so I didn't analyze this. But at least from my understanding, it looks like he should have played king to e3. Yeah, right, Ilam Parthi, what do you think? Um, Maybe you have analyzed this game before, because king g4 definitely looks like a bad place to put your king. Yeah, if anyone can tell me, but king e3, I can also indeed. However, the problem in this line is that after f4 there might be rook g2 winning the g6 pawn. Okay, let's look at it. King e3, king b7, take f4, and now rook g2. Nice Arun. This is good point that you mentioned. f3 and rook g6, f2, and yes, absolutely. This is just losing. And now if he takes here, this is what the queen will, h pawn will queen. Very good, Arun. You are very alert. Good to see. But let's say I go with the g5 perhaps here. Well, my main idea is to keep my two pawns intact and also at the same time start getting my king in. Sorry, keep my two pawns attacked and at the same time use my king to block this king from coming in. So g5, thinking what is to be done. Pankaj Panchal says, what if rook a3 cutting the king? But I think rook a3 doesn't solve the purpose, because my plan is anyway g5, g4, king e4, sorry. Yeah, it's also interesting. I mean, if you say instead of playing here king c6, you play rook a3, g5, king c6, g4, king b7, rook moves away, queen, take, take. Oh, not with the rook, but with the king. And now somehow to make progress is not easy, because if you go king e4, play f4, f3, looks a bit slow. Like say for example, king e4, king b7, f4, king c6, f3. Maybe you are in time, right? King d6, f2, rook a1, king f3, king e5, king g2, king here. Maybe it's only a draw. Um, because if king h2, king g4 is a draw, I was thinking if king h2, king e3, but then there is g3, and this position is, what is this position? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, rook a8 could be better than king a8. Yes, that's true. Uh, what do you think about this position? Is this a win for white or is this a draw? It's white to move here. It's winning, says Karan Parik. What's your winning move, Karan? King f3 wins. Do you think King f3 wins? I'm always here to trick you guys. So I said this is a draw, but all of you say it's a win. I want to see. You guys are too naive, I should say, because you always see one move ahead, and a real chess player always looks two moves ahead, not too many moves ahead. Of course, King f3 looks like completely winning because you are in Zugzwang. G2 loses here. King h3 loses to a mate. But there is a beautiful move, f1 queen, which was missed by all of you. Rook f1, g2, and now it's a draw because I'm threatening to queen, and after rook f2, I play king h1, and that is a draw. So sometimes you have to be a little bit careful in such positions to say whether it's winning or not. You have to look ahead. So this endgame is really very interesting, I would say, and a lot of things to learn. But let's look at what happened in the game. He played king c6. Ilam Parithi played king g4, which I don't like. King b7, rook f8. Yeah, Anu Gupta, you mentioned it, I know. Also, I feel that sometimes when the majority say it's a win, I anyway say all of you said it's a win because I take you like a collective group. But yes, some of you do get the right answer every time. Rook queen, 8 queen, rook takes, king takes, f4, and now you can see it's very slow because now he had to play king f3 again, g4, rook a3, king g2, king e4. The king has come in, f3, king e3, and now took on king h2. And the question is, how should white win this position? It doesn't look too difficult for sure, but still. Uh, Rakshita made a big blunder here, but I want to see if any of you make the same mistake as her. White to move. King f4, but king f4, f2. King f4, f2 looks dangerous. King f2 is what Soham Shirode, Just Chill, Mayur, Abdul Kalam, Shivendra, Karan Parik, Ujjal Datta. So basically, Reshu Jain, all of you said king f2, and it seems like the move which he made isn't so stupid, right? Because that's what you all played, king f2, because g3, king f3, g2, and now it seems like you're winning with rook a2, but there is king h1. Remember this stalemate trick always. In the game, she went rook a8, threatening a mate, and now Ilam Parthi resigned the game because if he makes a queen, there is a mate, and if king g1, then um, rook g1, king h1, rook h8, rook g8, king h1, rook h8, king g1, king g3, king f1, rook here, f8 check, king g1, rook f7, king h1, rook h7, and then rook h2, and pick up the pawn. So it's a little bit of a maneuver. So he resigned this game, right? He should have resigned, yeah? Dharmaratne says no. No, he should not have resigned. G1 knight. Of course, Ilam Parithi is not the one who will resign this game. Absolutely right. Yes, Pankaj, I'm going to check. What if not allowing f2 for black and play rook a2 in the analysis? Then maybe a pawn ending could be winning. We'll check 1 second. Yes, G1 knight is what was played, and he drew the game. Well, I just wanted to see if all of you are alert or not. And this, as we see, last time I had told you, keep the knight close to your king. If you go knight G4 here, G5 here, this is going to be a lost position. So knight G1, rook H8, king G2, rook G8, king F1, rook G3, knight E2, and he managed to keep things under control. Very good play, Ilam Parthi. That was nicely played by you. It's no chance to win. Yeah. Yeah, the variation which I was actually showing you, which you should remember here, the way to win this instead of G1 knight. Suppose you go king G1, then rook here. Now he wants to do a stalemate trick. So okay, king f2 is just simple here, yeah. But another way could be check, king here, king g3, king f1, rook f8, king g1. And now don't play rook f2 because king h1 would be a draw. But wait, make a waiting move so that after king h1 you have rook h7, king g1 you have rook h2, and then you pick up the pawn on g2. Yeah, that's how you win. Okay, so that was an interesting endgame, and I would recommend all of you to analyze it. I will put this game in our description. I mean, in the homework file. So if you can analyze it and try to see what's happening, it would teach you a lot about this endgame. Yeah. Yeah, he played till the end and he drew the game. So that was a good fight by him. Anish Adiga, I think you should stop spamming the chat. There is no way to play an hourly tournament on Play Chess. There are tournaments which are held in the tournament room, but please don't keep asking the same question. What if rook a2 for rook f8 instead of a1 queen? Which position? Okay, there are too many questions and it's the analysis a little bit confusing, so I'm not going to delve too much right now into it. I'm sorry for that. I would have loved to analyze all your questions here, but you don't know the move number, I don't know which move you are saying, and it will take a lot of time. So let me go now. This will be homework for you. I am going back to this just to quickly summarize what we learned yesterday. Check here, rook f7. Now rook e1. I want to just start with a random move. How should white continue here? Can anyone tell me? How should white continue in this position? This is the Philidor position which we had discussed yesterday. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I definitely want to make sure that you remember. Yeah, coming back to the thumbnail that we have here, um, it is a picture of me along with Nihal and Pragnananda, two of the biggest talents of Indian chess. And they both are Nihal was at that point 13, I think. Pragnananda was 12. This was in 2017, and Amruta and I had just begun our 1 year journey where we had left our home. We didn't have any place to stay. We were on this nomadic journey across the country, and this was World Youth Olympiad. And what I saw there was really nice because before that, I didn't know them very closely. But in that tournament, they were representing Team India. And I saw that whenever I would interview one of them, the other would join in. Either they would come to the video or just stand there watching the analysis. Then, after the interview would be done, they would be talking to each other, they would be discussing chess, and they would be having fun with each other. And I realized that, when two talents come against each other, it's like many of us think that they will be competing with each other, they will not be on friendly terms. But what I realized is that they were so good friends of each other, and it was so inspiring to see. They were sharing things with each other, they were talking with each other, and I feel that if you have some friend who is equally talented as you or is even better than you, then you must always follow what Nihal and Pragnananda do. They are friends of each other, and you must help each other to move forward, upwards. And this is what I wanted to make sure that you learn from this thumbnail, that alone is good, is it's not a problem. Chess can be played alone, but if you can work together, nothing like it, nothing like finding a good partner working with you. Okay, so now all the people who said rook h7 and rook d7 have to really go back to yesterday's class and learn it properly, because the thing is, Rook h7 is a waiting move only when the rook is on e2, because this is the best square, as I had mentioned. This is a dark square to give a check on d2. So if he goes to e2, you make a waiting move so that his rook position is compromised a bit. If he comes to e3, we had said you must give a check. But if he comes to e1, then bishop f3, you see the rook and the bishop both control each other and you stop the check. Now if king e8, sorry, king e8, then you know rook f4, and now comes the important move, not bishop e4 because of rook d1. Bishop e4 would work if the rook was on e3, by the way. And now rook a4, threatening a mate. So rook c1 looks like the only move, because if king e8, then bd5, threatening a mate. And if king f8, rook g4 is a mate. And if king c8, rook a8 is a mate, so rook c1, bg4, king e8, and now rook f4 is just finishing him off. I think bishop e6 was also mentioned by Arun, and even that was completely winning. But rook f4 is kind of thematic, finishing the game. Here rook e3 is met with uh, bishop c6, threatening a mate. Bishop rook d5, bishop rook d3, bishop d5, rook e3. And now we know that when the rook is on the third rank, you give a check, king c8, rook a7, it's all over. And if king e8, then we go rook a7, threatening a mate, rook check, king e8. And now what's the move here? If anyone can tell me what is the move for white to play and win. Yeah, this one is now the important moment. Not rook g7, because then king d8 back, but rook f4. Very good. Very good, Raman. Very good, Yash, Shivam, Mugambo, Neve, Arjun, Savita, Vikas, Nishad. Good job, guys. Rook to f4, king d8, bishop e4, and it's a mate. Yeah. Okay, and the last thing which I wanted, so now the third rank is also losing. So if he goes rook e3, you go check. If he goes to c8, rook a7 is lost. If he goes to e8, you go rook a7. If he goes to f8, you give a check, king e8, rook f4, threatening bishop c6 and bishop e4 both, king d8, bishop e4, and this wins simply. Okay, so third rank doesn't work, and therefore rook e2 is the best move. And now you must make the waiting move so as to compromise his position on the second rank. He has to either go to e3 or e1, and he goes to say e1, because e3, as we already know, is not a good square. Rook d7, king e8 and rook a7. We have already discussed this wins. So therefore, he must go to e1, and now is your move. What do you play here? He's on the first rank. You want to play bishop f3, but your rook is not on f7. So you must improve your position. And how do you do that? Yes, Dipankar, nice job. You remember the way this entire end game, and I'm glad that all of you are remembering what we saw yesterday, because it's been 24 hours and it's easy to forget such things. How should black continue here? He has a white continue here. Yes, Shivam, you're right. Suryansh, right. Sani Deshpande, good job. Neve Patel, excellent. Anyone else who can tell me what should white do here? Karan Parekh, Arun Dikshit, Ilam Parthi, Suryansh Verma, Vikas Nishad, Indu Manoj. Good job, guys. The right move is Rook to b7. And now you want to protect your bishop on b3, controlling this square. So he has couple of moves. One is to go king c8, other one is rook c1. If he goes to king c8, then you go rook b4, threatening a check. If rook d1, now you go rook h4, rook to the right. He goes king b8 and rook to the left. That's always game over. So rook c1, and now you go bishop b3, controlling d1, and he can go king c8, but now rook b4, threatening bishop e6, king d8. You anyway play here rook h4, threatening a mate that side, and then after rook e1 you have the powerful move. I would like to question you, what should white do here to win? uh, white to white to move and win. Soham Shirode, what are the things you can do with Chessbase Premium account? Because I'm planning to get it. Well, Soham, we'll discuss it at the end of the class if you don't mind. Um, Also, I have a very nice video on it which I will share with you. Yes, Bishop A4, very good, guys. Anup Datta, Kirti Badole has Shivam Chaudhary, Neev Patel. No one is here. Ujjal Datta, Niranjan Varyar, Practical Thinking. Very good, guys. Excellent. Bishop A4 is the correct move. And now you control both the squares. It's very difficult for him to survive here. Um, Bishop c6, threatening a mate, bd5, king b8, and rook a4. That's checkmate. So coming back, instead of playing king to c8, which we just saw right now, he goes rook c3, but now he's on the third rank, and we must, this check is incorrect because we need the bishop on d5 for that check. So we first go bishop e6, threatening a mate. He has to check us, then come to d5. Now he again has to go rook c3, because if he goes king c8, you have rook a7. So rook c3, now check, asking him, where do you want to go? And he says, I want to go to e8. Then now you go to rook g7, because this square is controlled by the bishop, and so he must play king c8. But now you go to the other side, threatening a check here, and now rook f4, rook b4, threatening check, king d8, bishop c4, and that's game over, because rook b8 is coming up. There's no way to stop it. If king c8, then check, king d8, then mate. Okay, so I think this is well revised, and also I hope that you will be able to make all of these things work when you are playing in tournaments. It's one thing to practice here, but quite another to apply it in your games. So that is the reason why you must practice it nonetheless, so that you have better chances when you play. Okay, now I want to look at a slightly different position, which is nothing but called the Lolli position, Lolli. It is another composer who found this position, kind of another player. This was also back in the time. Philidor found it with when the kings are on the central file. He said what happens when the kings are on the bishop file. Some things are different because every time you don't have too much space for rook on the left, rook on the right, but this position is still winning for white. And the way we do it is this way: check here, rook here, and everything remains the same, sort of. Let's look. He can go this side, um, and we should find out how to win this. By the way, Mayur says uh, today's soup is tastier because it has Karela added to it. Ah, Karela. Maybe one of those things which I don't like yet. But as I mentioned to you yesterday, khichdi was something I hated, the rice preparation, and I started liking it after a specific age. Maybe I have not yet grown too smart to like Karela. Sumit says, can you please send me homework link in the mail, please? I'm unable to load links you send. I tried using the link in different browsers and even changed to a stronger network. I've mailed for help. Okay. All right. Let me see how you can mail. You can write a mail to us, and I will send it to you from there. Or you can ask someone else somehow. Sagar Sanyal says, my name is also Sagar. I met you in Kolkata, Tata Steel. Please make a guide for us beginners who know how to play, but for tournament. Okay, right. We will work on that, Sagar. If I get this position in real game, I will give my opponent a lollipop. Mayur, yeah, with his famous jokes. Ashwin Makwana is here. He says, good morning, sir. Okay, Ashwin, now that you are here, I will say the notations. King c8 for black, rook g8, white king on c6, rook e7, bishop c5. Okay, this is the position: king c8, rook g8 for black, white king c6, rook e7, bishop c5. Yes, practical thinking. Sani Deshpande, Arun Dikshit, very good. Bishop d6. You guys are very alert. Even when I am talking, you guys know what to play. And good job. bd6, because king d8. You can go now. If you go rook e1 here, then rook g6, and it's a draw. But you can play rook to e6, and the idea is to put him in some kind of a zugzwang, because let's say if you go king c8, now rook h1, rook e1, king d8, bishop c7, and rook a1, with the idea of a mate. This is the plan anyway, so that's why. But rook e6 is important when the king goes to d8, because then rook g6 doesn't come up. Now when he goes rook h8, we can go bishop e5, taking away some of his squares from here. And it's a little bit tricky actually how to win this. So that's the reason why I believe that in the first position, instead of playing bishop d6 here, we can go with our normal stuff with rook a7, bd6, now rook a4, threatening a check and a mate on a8. The only way to stop it is to give rook c8, king b6, rook d8, and now we play a very interesting move here, which is rook to g4. So you see that these two squares are controlled, so he has to move his rook either to e8 or h8. This is the difference between the Philidor position and Lolli position, because the rook has some more space. Now if king c8, then bishop e7, you attack it. Now if the rook goes here, then you have check and mate. If the rook goes down a bit, let's say rook d5, you go king c6 with a mate. If the rook goes to d1, you go rook check and anyway win the rook. So all the tactics actually work out. If rook e8, king c6 is winning, so he must play rook h8. This is the only move. That's the beauty of such position. It seems like there are a lot of moves, but actually there are none which are good. And now after rook h8, you go king c6, threatening nothing as yet, but rook a4 could be an idea. When if rook h6, you have bishop d6 and it's a mate here. So king b8, bd6, king c8, rook a4 and wins. So let's just recap a bit because it was slightly different from what we have learned here. The point is after rook e7, if rook g8, then you go rook to a7, king b8, rook a4. This looks all okay. Rook c8, king b6. Here, now rook g4 is important to control the g8 square, which is a light square which the bishop cannot control. And then after king a8 comes bishop a3. We looked at king c8, by the way, bishop e7, had to go to h8, and now king c6 with the idea of getting the rook to the other side. King a8 is possible, but then you go bishop a3, king b8. If rook b8 check, king c7, king c6, this is winning. King b8, bishop e7, rook h8, bishop d6, king c6, king c8, king c6, king d8, and now the rook is on h8. So if you go rook a4 now, you are going to win this rook because it's too far off. So that's the reason why the Lolli position is winning for white. Let me just go back here and see if what are the other possibilities. The other one is to go rook h8, then bd6 threatening rook a7, king d8. We already know how this wins. So he could go rook g8 because then the rook would be defended. You know, bd6, king d8, rook a7, king e8, check, king f7. But you can play bd6, king d8, and now rook e6. This is what we just discussed right now, with the idea of playing later rook e1 and rook a1. Yeah, because if rook e1 directly, then rook g6. If rook a1, then here. That's the problem. Rook e6, and now if rook h8, now you can play bishop e5, not still rook e1 because of rook h6. Sorry. So here you go bishop e5, rook f8, bishop g7, rook g8, bishop f6, king c8, and now rook e1, rook f8, bishop g7, rook g8, rook a1. Well, I'm sorry if this position is too complicated, but I just wanted to show you that there are certain differences. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. If he goes down with the rook d2. I think most of the things are similar. Rook here, you make a zugzwang, push him to the first rank. Rook b1, bishop a3, like we do always. If king b8, then this time rook a4 doesn't work because after king c8 you go to the right, rook comes here. You would really love your bishop to go to z4, but well, there's no file there. So therefore here the way to win is not rook a4 but rook h7. And it seems like, you know, usually the king could run away like this, but this time again the board, so the having one less file is advantageous as at the same time disadvantageous for the defender. King 8, rook h4, making some kind of a waiting move because you want to go bishop b4, check and mate. That is the idea. So king 8, rook h4, rook b7, rook g4, putting black in zugzwang. King b8 check, king a7 check, king here, and it's a mate. So a little bit more care required, but rook b3, bishop d6, and we know now check because the rook is on the third rank. This is very similar to what we have learned. And now everyone can tell me what the right move is here from what we learned before. White to move. Trupti Gade says Vidit drew in Twitch live stream in Lolli position. Well, I don't blame him. You can see that there are a lot of complications. But now you know how to win this. You know that it's winning, so at least you can try to figure out. The point is to take away some squares on the last rank. In Philidor, rook moving to the last rank was just losing easily because there was a lot of space on this side of the board to go to the other side and mate. But in Lolli position, it's not so simple. The bishop has to join in to take away the squares. Yes, all of you who said rook h4, well done. Rook h1 is maybe possible, but I don't really like it so much. Rook, maybe it's okay, but Rook h4 is more thematic, as you guys have mentioned. The point is to put the bishop on b4. Yes, very good. Rook h4 with the idea of bishop b4. And so Rook h4, Rook b7, and now we know there is, you can make a waiting move here. That's the point. You can play Rook g4, or you can even play bishop b6, and next move will either be this mate or this mate, and game over. Okay, so this mainly I didn't want to delve in this as deeply as Philidor, but I just want you to know that this is winning. Okay, so I'll be putting this up in the homework link, so for you to go over it in the future. And let's now look at the game Duda versus Caruana, which was there for yesterday's homework. And you will see that how if it is on the knight's file like here, this position, well, we have to see it in kind of an opposite way, because you see this is a Philidor's position, but it is on the knight file. So it's not Philidor, it's not Lolli, but it's some kind of a knight file position. Rook f8, bishop here. He just couldn't win this because there's no space on the other side of the board. King g1, it's a good defense. By the way, if you play king e1, then check here, rook back, king g1, and this is winning. So you have to be still careful. You have to make use of your king on the other side. Now the rook would have loved to go here somewhere on the other end, but it's impossible to say I J some file on that side, but there are no files. Rook e2, he was just waiting, and now you know the defensive mechanism here. White to move. What should white play? Yeah, rook g2, very good. Rook g2 check, king back, and now back here. Very good. Arun Dikshit, Anup Datta, Sumed Ramteke, Subhash Goyal. Good job, Ilam Parthi, Sani Deshpande, Sahil Bhatt. Well done. Here you go back, and somehow he just can't get the Lolli position or the Philidor's position. I mean, he would love to get his king to d6, bishop d5, and sorry, king e3, bishop e4, and get that position, but it's just impossible to do it here. And in the end, he tried and tried and tried. Uh, that is Caruana as black. He tried a lot, but Duda knew that on the knight file, nothing is going to happen to him. And in the end, the players agreed to a draw in this position. Okay, so I hope that the winning plans are clear. And now we go to the defensive plans, because this is an important thing when you are defending with just the rook. If you have just the rook, then this one is basically known as the Cochrane's defense, Cochrane, Cochrane's defense. And Cochrane was a person who was saying to himself that, uh, I know that Philidor's position comes like king d6, bishop d5, and I'm lost. So I must prevent it. And how he would prevent it is by pinning the bishop to the king with his rook. So anytime the king moves forward, the bishop loses with a check. Bishop is lost with a check. If king d6, you still take on e4. So the biggest blunder for black in this position would be king d8. Why would this be a blunder? Can anyone tell me? If black is defending this position, this would be the biggest blunder. Why? Why is this a blunder? Well, Pankaj, this is not everything is not homework, but there are certain things which you need to understand a bit more in detail, and I would say doing it at home would make more sense than me spending equal amount of time on Lolli position as much as Philidor yesterday. Yes, king d6, very good. King d6 and get the bishop to d5. This is the thing which turns a Cochrane's defense into a Philidor position and is completely lost. So king e8, now you know bishop d5, and I can show you this win again, but well, just to make it sure, check king e8, and now what do you do? Rook g7, king e8, rook h7, and that should be back to our normal position with rook e3, then going to check, king here, here, uh, here, correct? And if rook e1, then rook b7, rook here, bishop b3. I guess you all know it, so no need to repeat it. But anyway, the right move is rook e1, keeping this pin intact. And when the king goes to d5 now, you go to the other side with your king. So if king goes to f5, you go king d8. If he goes to d5, you go king f8. And basic idea is to just ask him, okay, do you want to exchange the rooks? No, then my king will come up anyway. So you must be alert in the sense that if now you will see that what white is trying to do is maybe build up a Philidor this side like king here and put the bishop like this, push him back. So you go behind kind of that side. First you keep the king cut off, and now you go behind this way. So whenever he's starting to build something like a Philidor with his king and bishop, you just come from behind and you pin it, and he has no way to make progress here. Of course, don't blunder here with a move like say king h6, or well, king h6 at least looks okay here, doesn't lose, but king h4 would be horrible, because after king f4 there's a check here, and if you give a check here, this is lost. It's sometimes difficult to look at it this way, but this is exactly the Philidor just board. Many times when such positions you have learned one side, and then the other side looks very complicated, players actually go and move to the side of the board and play. Don't do that, but that could be an idea. So king h5, and now after check here, uh, you wait, and once the king goes to one side, you go to the other side, bishop moves, you bring your rook and free your king from the second rank, and that's a draw. Okay. So in this way, the Cochrane's defense works perfectly, and white is unable to win. I hope that this was clear. If anyone has any problem, please let me know. Well, mini chess base India, I really think that if you talk to the subject, you answer my questions in the class, I would see it. But turns out that most of the things which you say are irrelevant to the subject. So that's why I choose to ignore some of the messages. Okay. So here in this position, if you look closely, it was all about pinning the bishop, and the moment the king goes to one side, you move to the other side, the bishop moves, you bring back your rook and free your king from the second rank. I hope that you have been able to understand that. Isa Taib says it's clear. Very good. Anyone else? Yeah, king, knight, bishop, mate is what everyone has trouble in. Maybe we will look at that today. Maybe it's one topic which I don't have to prepare in advance. Okay, Spig versus Ernst says, Chess with Arun says, please take this one more time. Okay, let's just to make these clear. By the way, Ashish Dalvi says, can these positions occur in real games? Yes. I think the amount of times a rook bishop versus rook comes is huge, and if you don't believe me, let me show you how you can actually search it in actual games. You can go here. I will just show you this. Now you can see my screen. You can go to report, you can go to similar endgames. Now I have my mega database as the database that from which it will pull up the games. So white has one rook, one bishop, black has one rook, and I have ignore colors ticked so that if black has rook and bishop versus rook, even that will be found. And I do okay, and it starts searching all the games which are there in the database with this material balance. And I think we should have at least 1,000 games, but maybe more. I may be wrong. Let me see how many. Should more than 1,000 definitely. So it first scans all the games, so it takes a bit of time, but this is a really good way to learn any endgame. All those who have chessbase and mega database, please make use of this feature, similar endgames. All those who don't have it can get it and try to make use of it. Look at the number. Oh my god, I was wrong completely. The number is close to 4,000 games. These are all the games in which rook bishop versus rook has reached. So you can open any game and you will see that this has been reached. Has Z says how to get this software. Well, I think the easiest way to get it is to go to chessbase.in if you are in countries like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. We have the names of the countries by the way here. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines. You can get it from here. This is the Chessbase 15 plus mega database. Get it from here. If you aren't from those countries, you can go to chessbase.com, and from here you can go to the online shop and get it from there. Okay, so that's how you can get them. But seriously speaking, even if you do elo white, you will see Carlson versus Ding, you will see so many games in which top players have just made mistakes, complete mistakes here. For example, just now we learned something like this defense, right? Which was uh, Cochrane's defense. So the idea is that you want to keep your rook here on the e file. Why do you play rook a1? And now, if you were doing Cochrane's defense, you would play your rook to e1, correct? But turns out you play check, and then at the end you land up into this. This one is very close to Lolli's position now, and he resigned the game here. So it's very interesting to know these games. You can see this one is Nakamura versus Carlson, and Nakamura defended really well in this endgame, but eventually he ran out of time, it seems here. See, he's doing the Cochrane's defense. This is, by the way, the second rank defense, which we are going to learn now, which Nakamura is doing. Moment bishop moves, you interpose with the rook. Second rank defense is similar to Cochrane's defense, but there you are more active and not just waiting. You are all the time trying to free your king with your rook. And here, in the end, he just lost on time when the position is drawn, completely drawn. Okay, I hope this was clear to you. And let's go to bishop. And now let's go to second rank defense. What second rank defense exactly does is, by the way, let me see if yeah. I don't know if you can see the position on the board. Okay. So here, now we come to the Cochrane's defense. Sorry, we finished Cochrane's defense. We come to second rank defense, and second rank defense basically says that you should get your king out. Just a second. Bishop, rook c2. Keep the rook on the second rank. That's the main plan in. I'm just wrong somewhere. Yeah, rook c2. Keep the king on the second rank and also the rook on the second rank, so that whenever he checks, you can go here and the rook has to move and your king can come up. So let's say bishop c3, king d1, king d3, and now in one of the major things in the second rank defense is that you can give a check. Here, this is the point. So white to play. Mayur Hegde, this feature of similar endgames is there in chess base 14. Yes, rook d8 says practical thinking and Tinku Saha. Good job. Bishop rook d2. If you take, then it's a stalemate, and now you stay with your rook on the second rank. You don't move away. Check here, here, and you see you're keeping your rook on the second rank. While Cochrane's defense was more like putting the rook behind the bishop, here you stay on the second rank and you don't do much, and whenever things become too hot to handle, you go for this kind of, say for example, here check, check, I don't know, here say you go here, and somehow let's say I make a waiting move. I should go king e2, but if I make a waiting move and you come in, then I can give this check, which is the main defensive idea in the second rank defense. Here as well, if you play here, then check. So rook e6, rook d6, king c8, and the rook is beautifully placed on the second rank. Well, the rook got exchanged and it's all over. So I guess one of the most important things for you to understand is how the second rank defense works. It's always keeping your rook on the second rank, moving your king, and when the king comes too close, to give a check and to push him back. Stalemate tricks. Amay Nigudkar says, having poha and watching the lecture. Nice. Nice. Okay, I guess, guys, this was all about Bishop Rook versus Rook. You have at least equal knowledge to an IM or a GM, I would say, if you can apply it in your games. But application is always difficult. Pankaj Panchal says you are showing all of this like they are not important. Well, not really. The point is that there are only a few moves that are important to be seen here. For example, check here, you give a check and you stay on the second rank. Well, I don't see these positions to be taught in as much detail as some other end games. But if you haven't understood something, please let me know. You put your rook on the second rank and the king on the second rank, and then you just stay there. And when his king comes close, you give a check. I guess that's just the simple logic behind it. And now here you keep your rook on the second rank because now you're going to get your king on this side. So it's again on the second rank. Keep the rook close to the king, and I don't see how I could teach this a little bit more in detail, perhaps. Even here, I mean, this is not this is kind of necessary here, because if you go here, then you lose the rook to a check. If you go here, you lose the rook. So he goes back, but doesn't matter, because after bishop c3 comes a bishop f6, he comes back, rook f7, and now if king e6, there's rook e7, and if here, just it's the second rank, the rook helps you to stave off mating ideas. Okay, someone is saying I'm having idli fry. Anup Datta. Someone is saying I'm having Maggie and watching Daksh Goyal. Okay, let's look at knight, bishop knight versus king mate. Yeah, I hope Adrian Singson says nice endgame knowledge. Thank you, Adrian. Saurav Banerjee says I was late today. Sagarji came at 9 a.m. but didn't write a word because I was glued to the board. It's so very interesting. All credit goes to you, our teacher. Thank you so much, Saurav. Okay, let's go to bishop knight mate. And try to learn this out. Arun Dikshit says, "Thank you, Sagar, for an coach Sagar for an absolutely fantastic session. It was a privilege working with you and all the participants over last 90 minutes. Stay safe, everyone, and have a wonderful day." Okay, before you guys leave, I think we should have a quick look at a bishop versus knight, bishop and knight mate, because well, it's something which is tricky, but I don't think it's so tricky. For example, something like this. Uh, in order to win this, first we need to push the king back. Now, how to push the king back is not like rocket science. The point is this square is a dark square, so the knight should control it. The light squares have to be controlled by the bishop. So you play your knight to b3. Well, black will say, okay, I should go to the corner which is opposite to the bishop, because the mate can only happen in the corner of the bishop, the color of the bishop. So therefore, black usually tries to run to the other corner to prolong mate. So maybe he goes here, king e7. Okay, he could even go king c6, but then you go king e5, and you sort of use your knight bishop power to push him back. Okay, let's say he goes to e7. Now you try to understand this very clearly. Okay, this point is can be controlled by the knight only, so we will need the knight to control it later on. We'll see how that works. First, let's bring the king in. Now he goes king here, so I maybe if he goes back, then I can just push him back. This looks already quite a big progress having being made. So king d8. Now let's see how to further kind of control it. Let's put king d6. Yeah, now if king goes here, you go king e6. I'm trying to kind of close him down in. If king here, then king f6 already. So, well, but anyway, let him go to the corner because that's what I want to show you guys. So he went here. Okay, now he's in the corner. So we will need the knight here. Okay, or so that the knight will control the square, and then we bring the bishop. If the king goes this way, then we bring the bishop here. Okay, so that's how it will work. I'll show you how it is done. For example, let's first get the knight, say here, king goes here. Now the king cannot come here, so we can just make a waiting move with the bishop. King back, knight goes here, king here, knight here. So knight f7, king, by the way, for all the blind players, the white king is on f6, knight f7, bishop d5, black king is on h7. Now I've controlled both these squares as such, so he must go to g8, and now I control the h7 square with my bishop e4. So he goes to f8. Now this is, I think, the main position which you should be aiming at. The knight has controlled this square, so the bishop goes and controls the g8 square, bishop h7. So the king wants to run away. Now you make a W formation with your knight. The W formation works basically with f7, e5, d7, c7, c5, something like this. Okay, so he goes now. If he goes to f8, you can go knight d7 check, king d8, king d6, king e8, king e6. Sorry, king d8, king d6, king c8, knight c5, stopping the king from going there. If he goes king d8, you can go bishop g6, king c8, and now maybe a waiting move, say with the bishop h5. If king d8, now knight b7, king c8, king c6, king b8, king b6, king c8. You always have check when the knight controls this square, so he has to go in, and then, well, you can go knight c5, king a8, make a waiting move with your bishop, king b8, knight a6, king a8, and a mate. There was one important point here where, the king could have actually run away, like here. Instead of playing bishop here, king here, knight to e5, he could, instead of going king f8, he could have gone king d8. And this is where people get really nervous, because it's like, oh my god, the king is running away. But actually speaking, the king is not going to run away anywhere. The main thing is to use your knight to control this square and the bishop to control this square. If you can control these squares, then the king is anyway not going to run away anywhere. So for example, let me say if I go here king e6, now if king c7, knight d7, so as to prevent the king from running away from these two squares. If he goes king c6, now you will see he wants to run away from here. I will put my bishop on d3, controlling that square. So the king has to go back to c7, and now bishop e4, controlling even further squares. Okay, and now after king d8, or if he goes somewhere else, let's say king g8, sorry, king d8, king d8 or king c8. Let's go king d8. Now king d6, king c8. If he goes king e8, you always have check. So he goes king c8, knight to c5, king d8, and you are back where it all began. Maybe waiting move, king d8. Bishop can cut him off here, bg4, king a8, king c7, king here, make a waiting move, king b8, another waiting move, and now a check, and oops, I did a stalemate. uh, I didn't need to make a waiting move here. I could have checkmated him here. Okay, so I don't know if this is very clear yet to you, but I will discuss this. I know how to push the king back, hold opponent's king to push him to the edge of edge, and it's that simple, says Pankaj Panchal. Yes, we have the 50 move rules. Yeah, you have to mate him in under 50 moves. Is there anyone who has any issues? Because what I wanted to show you was a structured way. Let's say, for example, you have uh, this position. Say you have this position on the board. Now you, oops, the extra bishop, need to remove it. You have this position on the board. You need to get the king all the way to this side on h8. So the white position is king b6, bishop d4, knight c7, black king b8. Now you need to get him to this side of the board. So what the knight does, it first controls this square, and you must remember that the knight should be in a W shape moving this way like this. Okay, the last move need not be made, but something like this. So if it comes from here, it's a W, and it should control the square on the corner which the bishop cannot, and its W should be formed. So sometimes people get confused, is the W like this? I don't know which side it is, but it's the side on which the king is running. Okay, that's where the W lies. Now if king c8, king c6, king b8, then you make a waiting move with your bishop, and you control this corner square with your bishop now. So the knight controls a8, bishop controls b8, so he must go to d8, and now you go knight to d5 because it controls the e7 square. So the king must run to e8. If it goes to c8 now, then we know that knight e7 is just a simple win. Check here, king e6, and again we go in the W formation. So he goes here, knight d5, king e8, and this is the key moment of the entire thing. You go king d6 here. If he goes king d8, you have knight e7 stopping him. So he goes king f7, and now you go knight e7, controlling this crucial square. And remember, he may want to run away from g7 to h6, but you have the move bishop e3 controlling these two squares, and the knight controlling this square. So he can plan to go to f6, but you can still wait with bishop f4. You will see the bishop and knight controlling all these squares, and the king as well. So the king has to move back, and now you can even control further with bishop g5 or even bishop e5, controlling all these squares now. and king e8, king e6, king d8, and now well, just maybe bg3, he can't run, so you go here, bishop c7, king f8, knight f5, king e8, knight g7, king f8, king f6, king g8, king g6, king f8, bd6, king g8, knight f5, king h8, bishop c5, king g8, knight h6, king here, and a mate. So you make a waiting move and then you checkmate him. I didn't ask all of you how to do this, but I think it was relatively clear. If it is not, please let me know in the comment section in the chat so that I can take it one step at a time. Oh no, somehow I can't see your chats. Is there anyone who's not clear about this end game? Maybe we can check. Uh, yeah, Vidit versus Mosesian. Let's look at that game to make sure that you have learnt it well, because a practical game can help to make this better. So let me just quickly show you how to search a game. So here I will open my mega database. I'll go to games and I will do control F. I'll put in Vidit and I will put in Mosesian, and there is the game here. So I'll take this game and I will go back to my normal view. So this is how you search games with mega database, and I will put it here. Now, so we come back to this position. I think with it was completely lost, but at some point he managed to take it into bishop versus knight endgame. Now let's try to see how Mosesian did it. By the way, it's 82nd move, and Mosesian checkmated his opponent on 132nd move, which is 50 exact moves. Yeah, so that's the fun part. It usually should take around 32, 33 moves. Knight f6, king d6, king f5. So this is the beginning of trying to push the king back. So you will see that the bishop is begun controlling the dark squares, the knight is controlling the light squares. So you start bringing in the king, king d5, king b6, knight e4, king b7, knight d6. Once again, you want to use your knight on a light square to control dark squares. So he will do that shortly. And now you will see that this is controlled by the knight, this is controlled by the bishop, and with it goes to this corner. Okay, so king c6 makes complete sense. King d8, bg3. Not so necessary to play that move, but okay, anyway, check. King a8, bishop f2, king b8, and now knight to c7. Everything is being done precisely by Mosesian. He first controlled this square with his bishop, then this square with his knight. So Bidit went king c8. Now what's the move here? Can you tell me? Let's do it together so this entire thing is stuck in your head. uh, Nandan asks, how can I push the king in the corner? Nandan, always remember to keep your bishop on dark square and the knight on a light square, on a dark square as well, because then the knight will control light squares, and then use your king. So if I can go back, this was move 97, but if I can just go back and show you here how Mosesian did it. What he did was he always tried to keep his knight on a dark square controlling important squares, and he took away squares from his opponent. Like these are all the squares he took away. So Vidit came to b5 and he went back, and you will see that these are covered right now, and then slowly he brought his king over, whatever is left. So here these are left. Now the king will come here and then he will cover the other squares, and slowly you push him back. Okay, king d5, king b6, knight e4, king b7, knight d6, and here you see once again light square by the knight, dark square by the bishop. King d7 was played, and now knight and the bishop, they control these squares. King c8, king c6, so slowly he has to go back. I mean, you see both the squares are covered, so he can go to e8, but if he goes to e8, it's just all the more faster, on this corner of the board you're going to get checkmated even faster than before, like king g7. Or maybe I should try to go bishop f6, stopping him from coming up, and then when he goes here, I could get my knight there. Knight d4 f5, but then he has g6 square. But okay, we can take it step by step, like this 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 here. Now my knight controls this square and this square, so he has to go here, and my king can join in, so he has to go to f7, and now my knight comes here, which will be a stalemate, horrible move, but I should play bishop g5, king h8, and now king g6, king here, bishop e7. This is the standard way to control this with your bishop. King h8, knight comes in, knight h6, and checkmate. Okay, I hope Nandan this was a bit clear to you, even to those who have the doubt how to push the king. Try it out. It's actually quite natural in a way when you do that. Okay, let's go back to that position, move number 97, and all of you are absolutely right. Let me see how many of you got the move bishop a7. Wow, many. Anshika Kale, Anup Datta, Anish Adiga, Shobit Jaiswal, Ved Sai, Partha Hazarika, Arjun Pulikal, Indu Manoj, Amay Nigudkar, Yash Bharadia, Sani Deshpande, Krishan Kumar Bagel, Neev Patel, Soham Shirode, Adrian Singson, Dr. Dyer. Very good, guys. Very good. Now, Bishop A7. Pankaj Panchal says positioning the pieces in is optimal positions is difficult part. It's also true about life. For example, someone tells you something, some trick in life, okay, that in order to not get angry, you must start counting the numbers backwards. Like someone comes and makes tries to get you angry, so start counting the numbers backwards. So someone comes to you and tells you something, you're like 10, 9, 8, 7, and you do that. Somehow sometimes you do 10, 9, 8, and then you get angry and you do something which you don't want to do. It's like you know the technique, but you don't know how to implement it. But once you know the technique, you will try to implement it. It's like you know how to mate him in this position with this W formation, the knight taking away the rook square, the bishop taking away this square. You're going to come like this. Then the implementation part, of course, is not going to be trivial. It's not like today you did it and tomorrow you are a big expert of this. It will take some time, but knowing it is important. Also, it's the same about any difficult thing in life. You can't just go and implement it on the next day itself. You have to try it out in practice, and the best way to practice it is to just play it against an engine. Just play it. Okay, king d8. Now what do you do next? What move should white play? White to move. King d6 possible, but yeah, knight d5 looks much better. King d6, king c8. Maybe you are in some kind of a point where you don't know what to play next, because bishop moves king d8, knight moves king b7, so you have to go king c6 back. So better to first play knight d5. Very good. With it went king e8. Now what do you play as white? White to move. What do you do now? How to continue this position? Yeah, if king c8, there was knight e7. That is true. So he must play king. So for example, in this position, if he went knight d5, king c8, you go knight e7, king d8, king d6, king e8, king e6. Because king d8, you have bb6 check, and you see all the squares are covered. Okay, but he played with it played the better move, I would say, in terms of testing his opponent. He went king e8, and I don't think bd4 is the correct move here, as has been pointed out by a few, but the right move is king d6, right? All of you have, many of you have got it, king d6. That's the correct move. Good job. And now with it went king to f7. Now is the crucial move of this entire position, and I'm very surprised that actually Mosesian just forgot about it. King d6. Now, because you want to control this square, you play your king to d6. Why do you want to control this square? Because you want to get your knight there. So Sumed Ramteke has rightly pointed out knight to e7. Very good. This is where you really need to control this square right now. Arjun Pulikal, Yash Soni, Krishan Kumar Baghel. Very good, guys. Knight to e7 is the correct move. Has Z, Honi Arora, Vidya Kamble, Shrutartha, Aniruddha, Mayur Hegde, Vandana. Yes, knight e7. And then I think you know it already. If king f6, what do you do next? Can anyone tell me what to do next if king f6? Well, BD4 is what I think he played in the game. DM cares, DMC cares. I'll tell you why BD4 is bad, because you give up the G6 square. So right now, Bishop E3, very good, guys. You must control this square now where he is running away. So you will see the knight controls this square, bishop controls this square, knight controls here. So he must go king f7. And now you can further lock him in with the move bishop to d4, because now it's there are many ways to win. For example, I can even think about king d7, but I think bishop d4 is just more makes sense, because now he must be pushed back to the last rank. If king f8, king e6, now king e8, bishop b6, king f8, and you do the W maneuver with your knight, knight f5, king e8, check, king here, king g8, king g6, king f8, bishop c5, king g8. knight f5, king h8, and always make the waiting move first. Don't rush in. And now give a check so that the knight checks here, the bishop controls this square, push him back, and bishop e5 mate. Okay, so let's come back, and the move which all of you suggested was knight e7. Good job, guys. You played better than Mosesian did in the game. He played bishop e3 when actually the king went to g6, and this is where things start getting tricky because he's now left the king off the hook. So Vidit had a new lease of life. King e6, king, and by the way, this was a classical game. King h5, king f5. Now the king is running here. So if you think now this way, that the king is actually going to sit in this corner, and if you are controlling this corner here, then the knight would be required here, so that then the w would move this way, right? Something like this. You have to start thinking about the new setup. Knight e3, king h4, bishop d6, king h3, king f4, king h4, and now you see he's actually messed up this entire setup. The right setup has to be this way, or if the knight is here and the king is running this way, then the setup is this way with the knight. But if you are going to get your knight not on this square, this square, this square, this circuit, and if you are going to get on this square now, this is just trouble, because now the knight is also controlling dark squares, the bishop is also controlling dark squares, and it turns into complete chaos. He's just not able to get him, and finally, check, he's got on the right circuit finally. Okay, the knight, because now you get the king running this way. So bishop here. Now what should white play? Let's do it once more, because now you are down to how many moves. It started, everything began on the move number knight bishop h7, knight h7, 82. So this is move number 113. So already 31 moves have been played. Okay, 31 moves have been played. So you have exactly 19 moves now. Let's see if you can do it. Bishop h2, very good. Siddharth and Subhayan, very good job. This was a Czech league in 2019. So you have used one move out of 19. Okay, one move. King e1. What do you play now? Next. Be careful. Be careful. Now it's your second move. What do you play here? King Puano says how many months it will take to finish Dvoretsky's endgame manual. I think if you do it well, it should take you less than a month to do it if you are doing it well, but depends on how you do it. Okay, very good. Yash Soni, Shivam Chaudhary, Vidya Kamble, Srishant, you guys have done it right. So the second move is 94. Remember guys, you have only 19 moves, yeah? So 94, good job. Vidit once again goes here. Now what's your move? King d1. So for all my blind friends here, white king f3, bishop h2, knight e4, black king d1. White to move. King f3, knight e4, bishop h2, black king d1. We have played two moves yet. Let's do it step by step. Let's do it step by step. King e3, very good. King e3, all of you are right. This is the third move, and this time with it plays king to c2. Now, fourth move. What do you play here? You have to be careful, very careful. Every move is critical. Mosesian would have been so upset. It was a clear win for him. He just made one careless move and now he's on the edge. King c2. What do you do now? Three moves are over. Yes. Knight d2. Knight d2, not knight e2. Knight d2 is the correct move. Not bishop. All those who said bishop e5, that's not good because he will run away from here, from b3. So knight d2, very good. Fourth move is done. Good job, guys. All of you have said knight d2, and now with it went king b2. Now your fifth move. What do you play here? Remember which square do you want to control and where you don't want his king to run away. If his king runs away there, you are not happy. So play it carefully. Four moves are over. Four moves. Make your fifth move now. Very good, Raman Chandrakar. Good job. Deepankar Kamble, excellent. Yash Soni, good job. Arjun Pulekal, Ved Sai. It's the same setup, just turned around. Abhishruta. Yes. Has Z, Partha Hazarika, Adrian Singson. Shriyana, no, not bishop e5. King will run away from a3. Can't play there. Bishop d6, very good. Fifth move is over. He plays king to c3. What do you do next now? King went to c3. King c3. Five moves are over. Why is Sagar shaking? Well, I need to do something to keep myself active. I shouldn't shake, yeah? Five moves are over. Uh, yeah, bishop e7 is definitely a possibility. Bishop c5, correct. I think that's even more accurate. Both are, I guess, equally good. I don't know what if bishop c5 takes one move more than bishop e7, but I can check it out if I can switch on the engine and let you know what is the most accurate move here. All moves actually, bishop c5, bishop e7, everything mates in 13. So okay, bishop c5. Okay, let me keep it on just so that I can. So five moves are over, right? Oh, this was a sixth move. Yeah, sixth move is over. Sixth move. Now he played king c2. Okay, if he went king b2, then you can make him faster because of king d3. King moves in. King c1, then knight c4. Yeah, this is our w formation. But okay, let's stick to the game. King c2. Now seventh move, king c2. Seventh move, and here actually there is one move which wins in 12 moves, one in 13. Both should be okay. Yes, Siddharth, you are absolutely right. Anirudh, you are right, but you, all those who said bishop d4, you are right absolutely, but it takes 13 moves. Bishop b4 takes 12 moves. That's how it is. What can I do? Because if he goes here, then you have knight c4, king c2, and knight a5. stopping once again from coming here. And then king d1, king d3, king c1, and once again everything is back to normal. King goes to d1, check, back in the circuit. I guess king here, king c1, make a waiting move. King goes back, and yeah, here, knight, check, and mate. But okay, I think bishop d4 is not a bad move. Bishop d4 is what was played in the game. Bishop b4 was faster, but bishop d4. So this is the seventh move now. Seventh move you've played. Uh, is it the seventh, right? Or am I missing a move? Uh, 100 and we started with the first move was bishop h2. That was 114th. We are now, yeah, this is the seventh move. Okay, so he played the move king d1. Now what do you do? Seven moves are over. After bishop d4, how should king d1 was played? Now how to continue? Seven moves are up. It's a quite a nerve-wracking game because more than mate now, it is about time. Yes, Adrian Singh Sung, Shivam Chaudhary, very good. Dipankar Kamble, Practical Thinking, Ved Sai, Neev Patel, Arjun Pulikal, Sri Shant, King D3, very good. So he went King E1. Now 8 moves are over. Your ninth move. Ninth move to win. What do you play? Yes, very good. King D3. Now he goes 9 moves are done. So what's your next move? Bishop E3, good. Bishop G1 is also good. Don't move your knight yet because it just king F1 can run away. Bishop E3, anyone who moves his knight is wrong. Anyone who moves his bishop along this diagonal is right. Anywhere. Because it's a waiting move now. You want the king to go back in this position. So the right move in the game, bishop E3 was played. This was the 10th move. He went king D1. Now what do you play? Be accurate. Only one move now. Be accurate. 10th move. 10th move is this. Now it's the 11th move. 10 moves are over. After bishop E3, what do you do? Yes, bishop F2. Very good. That is the 11th move. Nice job, guys. Now king C1. 12th move now. What do you play your 12th move? Be careful about this. 11th move is bishop F2. Now it's the 12th move. What do you play? Yes, knight c4. Good job. Dyer, Tom Lasker, Lakshmi Narayan. Yash, knight c4. That was the 12th move, king d1. What do you play now? You have to find the 13th move. Yes, Shivendra, Soham Shirode, Mini Chess Base India, Rajesh Kumar Nair, Indu Manoj, Pankaj Panchal. What is the 13th move now? Well, no longer need a waiting move now. Yes, knight b2. Good job. This is the 13th move, right? King c1. Now it's time for the 14th move. What do you play? 14th move to play. Knight b2 check. You see the W came into the picture. The knight jumped like this, and this. Yes, Subhayan, good job. Now King c3, very good. All of you are really right on the money. Oops, sorry, I jumped. King c3, 14 moves are done. King b1, now critical moment of the game. So this is the 15th move, and remember, it's only you have 6 moves left, and you have to mate him in 6 moves. So that's 20th move has to be a mate. It's the 15th move. Where do you go now? 15th move. Bishop e3, yes, that is possible, but much better. And we follow what our technique is to actually not control that square really, but to whenever the king goes in, we go with our king. The point is to put him in an opposition, and whenever he comes out, you give a check, he cannot run away anyway. So the reason why I am not going for this move is because his king can often escape from that side. So that's why king b3, 15th move. Good suggestions. Bishop e3 is also equally good. King c1. Now 16th move. What do you play? White to move. 16th move. 5 more moves to go. Yes, bishop e3 is absolutely right. Now you must give a check. If you don't do that, you will be in big trouble. Now 4 moves left after king b1. Where do you go next? 4 moves, okay? Be careful. Just last 4 moves. If you are unable to do it, mate, even if you take one more move, it's a draw. So king b1, calculate, is it mate in 4? Calculate right till the very end. I will take only the answers, not the next move, but those who will write 4 moves now. How can white mate black in 4 moves? Not more than that. So write down your answer with all the 4 moves. If you want to move your knight somewhere, then king moves, then something, then something, then something, and mate. If you can find mate in 4, I'm going to view that. Let's see how many can do this, because all of you have grown used to now writing one move each. Who can mention right now? I'm waiting for someone to give me 4 moves. Practical thinking. Yes, practical thinking. You are absolutely right. You're the first one. Sumed Ramteke, you're the second one. So it's actually made in 4, yeah? Yes, Mayur, you are right. Shivam Chaudhary, you are absolutely right. Shriyana Malya, you are right. Sairam Sampath is right. Deepankar Kamble is right. Neev Patel, good job. Arjun Pulikal, good job. Good job. Savita Yonal, well done. Subhayan, well done. Yash Bharadia, well done. Kirti Badole, well done. Shivendra, well done. Yan Murdoch, good job. Indu Manoj, excellent. Vidya Kamble, good. Raman Chandekar, yes, you're right. Raman Chandekar is just writing white's move, no black move. But okay, I will take that sometimes. Okay, so knight c4, one move, king a1, a waiting move with the bishop, second move, king b1, knight a3, check, third move, and at this point in the game, actually it went like knight c4, king a1, bd2, king a1, knight a3, king a1 with it. Actually called the arbiters, I guess, and said, can we check if 50 moves have been done? And they checked and they said now 49 moves have been done. It's white's 50th move. If it was even one move more, it would have been a draw. But unfortunately, the 50th move ends with a mate, and that's why Vidit lost this game. But it was a very exciting end game. I think Mosesian, kudos to him that he actually could mate his opponent on the 50th move, keeping his cool and calm. He could have done with precise play on the 49th move had he played instead of bishop d4, bishop b4 here. But okay, that's, I think all of you did an excellent job, and I think you learned a lot today, hopefully, with the bishop rook endgame. I think we can just quickly summarize it. Rook plus bishop versus rook. If I can get another text here. Yeah, so we learned the, how was it, Lolli position. So we can write here, Philidor position is with the king, is with the defending king on central files. Okay, let me make this smaller. Don't think you can see it yet. Let me just bring it up on the screen. Yeah, here you can see it now, I guess. Philidor position is with the, yeah, is with the defending king on central files. Okay, Lolli position is with the king on the bishop file. Both Philidor and Lolli win. Fourth point is, if the king is on the knight file, it is a draw. Please refer Duda versus Caruana. And that's, I think, what we did here. And there are two defensive techniques, Cochrane and second rank defense. I think that covers up our bishop versus rook endgame. And when we talk about bishop and knight mate, I think You can have a look at it. Again, I don't think we need to make rules as such, but you can make your own for that. I will leave it up to you. That's also one of your homework tasks. I hope you had a good time and you learned a lot. Please make sure that you keep studying chess in this lockdown. It's a great time to improve, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Take care. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.